Your Excellency, the First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of South Korea to Kenya, CEO of Mama Doing Good, Dr. John Chumo, the Deputy Chief Conservator of KFS, Charity Munyasia, cyclists, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to join you here as the world prepares to mark yet another edition of the International Women's Day, scheduled for tomorrow, 8th March 2023. This important day dates back to the 18th century, when women's suffrage movement in the UK strived for the right of women to vote in parliamentary and general elections. Those brave women used all possible means at their disposal, including arts, debates, propaganda, protests, and arson, to fight for their rights to take part in electing their leaders. And in 1910, an International Socialist Women's Conference was organized, from which an annual Women's Day was proposed, with the aim of promoting equal rights, including women's suffrage. The following year, the first International Women's Day was celebrated by over 1 million people in Austria, Germany, Denmark, and Switzerland. The struggle for gender equality is one that still goes on and is far from being achieved. Through such initiatives spearheaded by the First Lady herself, we acknowledge that there's still so much to be done to ensure the dignity and respect for our women, who have for generations been left behind by retrogressive cultural practices, male chauvinism, and outright discrimination in access to opportunities. Here in Africa, for instance, majority of the urban and rural poor are women who also form a huge societies. Women have borne the biggest brunt of civil wars, famine, disease, and climate change. The United Nations has over the years been wary of the numerous hurdles established by UN Women, which has celebrated National Women's Day with various themes. This year's theme, dubbed Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality, recognizes the impact of the gender gap on broadening socioeconomic inequalities. But the inequalities also exist in virtually all sectors of society, including sports, such as cycling and other motorsports, where women have largely been excluded by either default or design. Indeed, data available to us points to the skewed women's sports, with facts favoring the men's sports. For instance, in sport federations and in coaching, as well as in officiating roles. We will do all we can to address these disparities by being intentional in demanding for more inclusive representation in federations, in line with the Constitution of Kenya. Equally, we will be coming up with programs that enhance equal development of both men and women's sports. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, taking cycling as an example, we realize that although cycling is a fast-growing sport, there are still significant gender disparities with respect to participation levels, representation in leadership positions, and prize money awarded. The government, through the Ministry of Sports, intends to address these disparities by demanding remedial action from all stakeholders at different levels, encourage more women to be involved in emphasized. Cycling can also play a major role in fighting climate change by eliminating carbon emissions and reducing reliability on non-renewable energy. We would like to see more women get involved in cycling by promoting women cycling events and initiatives and working with the relevant institutions to address cultural and systemic barriers to their participation. These barriers, which also include factors such as race, class, and economic challenges, continue to inhibit women participation in sports. By addressing these challenges, Your Excellency, we are likely to create a more progressive, vibrant, and all-inclusive cycling society. The International Women's Day is a time to recognize the strength and power of solidarity, and it is in that spirit that we implore our male cyclists, and I'm glad I see a lot of our male cyclists here supporting our women cyclists, to support and amplify the voices of women in cycling. We urge men in cycling to be the champions for women cyclists by utilizing their privilege and networks to create more equitable and inclusive cycling culture. As I conclude, I'd like to assure all cyclists of the government's unwavering support to programs that can help them grow the cycling sport. We all agree that promoting green transport, such as cycling, go hand in hand with other environmental conservation efforts, such as cleaning up rivers, tree planting, and reducing carbon emissions, which are global obligations of all nations of the world. With those remarks, it's now my humble duty to welcome our chief guest, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Her Excellency Mama Rachel Ruto, to make her remarks. Asanteni sana.
Munyasia, Dr. John Kennedy Muma, Nyagetuba, CEO, AR Insurance, Deputy County Commissioner, Westland Sub-County, Mama Cycling Team, and the cycling community present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon again. I'm delighted to join you today on the Mama Cycling Awareness Ride, themed Share the Road, part of the activities to mark International Women's Day. I want to bring you greetings from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Our launch today is significant as it is aligned with the 2023 International Women's Day theme, Digit All, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality, with a focus on embracing equality. Our theme campaign, Sharing the Road, highlights challenges on the road faced by cyclists, especially women cyclists. Cycling is a critical aspect of environmental sustainability, and we need to encourage the adoption of safe, non-motorized transport. This includes non-motorized transport considerations in the design of our roads. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to recognize women who have made a mark within our cycling community. Ms. Alice Kivuva, for putting Kenya on the global scene through the 5-star brand that most of us wear when riding. Where are you, Alice? That is Alice. Let's appreciate her. Cyprian Nyakundi and her team for creating awareness on the plight of cyclists and the need for motorists to share the road. Team Amani for unlocking international opportunities for professional cyclists. Migration Gravel Race hosted by Team Amani last year was an excellent showcase of our magical Kenya to the world. Ms. Nancy Akinyi for bravely defying the odds while battling it out internationally on those dusty gravel roads. Well done, Nancy. Cycling Academy in Iten. This is very commendable and welcome initiative. I concur that if we build, they will come. ladies and gentlemen. While cycling, you must have noticed we are now deliberately planting trees. Kenya is experiencing the worst drought in 40 years. My office has committed to planting and growing 500 million trees out of the president's target of 15 billion trees by 2032. Professor Wangare Maathai would say, when we plant trees, plant the seeds of peace and seeds of hope. We also secure the future for our children. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all plant trees. Let us protect our environment. Let's take up cycling and ensure that we are all considerate of each other, even as we use the road. The motorists and other road users, let's share the road. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency, for the comments. And at this point, we are going to have two photo sessions.